Okay, have you ever noticed that in society we have a tendency to judge parents and judge them differently? Now, as a mother, I found that people judge me in public for how I behave towards my child, especially when he was younger. Obviously, I have a son child, and it makes a hell of a difference as how people look at you. And people treat you like you're the worst parent in the world if your child behaves like a human being in public. And you, as a mother, either tries to stop your child from behaving like, tries to keep your child under control, or, ignores their child's behaviour because you know full well they're just having a moment and they need to just get it out of their system, or, heaven forbid, tries to discipline their child. Especially if they're neurotypical children, it's easier to actually try to discipline them in public. It is doable to discipline a neurodivergent child, but when they're going through a moment, if you know they're neurodivergent, if they're having one of those moments, you can't sit there and tell them off. The judgment that comes from other people and other parents is insane. If a mother takes her child to the park or takes them out on an outing or does anything with their child and has the nerve to take her eyes off her child for more than 3 seconds, she is judged for it. If a mother does anything with her child or doesn't do something, or if a mother puts her child in front of a TV, or if a mother doesn't cook elaborate meals for her child and lets them eat, takeaways or chicken nuggets or, that kind of food, we're judged as bad parents. Giving them screen time makes us bad parents. Everything that a mother does can make us a bad parent in the eyes of society. But we flip that around onto fathers, and if they are the most amazing father in the planet, we as mothers don't mind the fact that they are given compliments for being amazing fathers. But what we do find is that if they go to the park or take their child out and they take their eyes off their child for more than 3 seconds, nobody says anything at all. Nobody says anything. They just say, oh, what a great dad he is because he took his child out. So even if a father is the most amazing father in the world, nobody cares, because a father could do the absolute bare minimum and he will still be judged exactly the same. Because as far as society is concerned, a father spending time with his child can do no wrong. Absolutely can do no wrong. If they take an interest in their child's life, if they take them out for a day out, such an amazing father. He's so wonderful. He actually took his child out. Oh, he took his child to the park, but actually didn't watch him, just spent the whole time on his phone. Oh, what an amazing father you are. Actually took the child to the park. A mother takes her child to the park, spends the whole time on her phone because their child is playing and is happy. Worst parent in the world. How dare we take our eyes off our child and leave them to play all by themselves in the park? There is this difference with parents, and I see it time and time and time again. And it does bother me, as you can tell. It does actually bother me because I have seen really amazing fathers and I have been around really awful fathers. And obviously, as a single mother, I am absolutely happy because I wouldn't want my son's father anywhere near us. He is not safe to be around my son. He's just not a safe person to be around my son. I wouldn't want that anywhere near him. It's just not safe. So the reality is, we as a society need to change the way we think. We need to stop putting men and women in different brackets and start understanding that we're the same. If a mother is struggling, it doesn't make her a bad mother. If a mother walks away from her child because she understands that actually if the child stays with their dad because their dad is better for them, it doesn't make her any less of a bad person than if the father walked away. And how many times do we judge mothers for walking off and walking away from their children, and praise fathers for walking out on their family? Because, hey, it's okay for fathers to walk out on their family if it's not working, if it's, if the family dynamic isn't working, and they're happier if they're not living together. But it's okay for the father to walk out, but it's not okay for the mother. Sometimes we as a society need to understand that both men and women are human beings. Parents are human, and we have to understand that just because one mother is capable of raising a child and is strong enough to raise a child, it doesn't mean, and when I say strong enough, I mean mentally, emotionally, not physically. You don't have to be physically strong to raise a child. You have to be mentally and emotionally strong to raise a child. And not all mothers are. It's that simple. But we judge mothers for not being mentally and emotionally strong enough to raise a child. But we do not judge fathers the same way. If a father isn't capable of raising a child, we expect that of them. Because, well, he's the father, he's allowed to walk away. In fact, my son said it. It's okay for fathers to walk away because it's normal in society. It's not normal for a mother because, hey, society doesn't allow it. Well, why not? Because if a mother cannot emotionally and mentally take care of a child, it is detrimental to that child. Actually detrimental to that child. It's actually damaging for that mother to remain with that child. Unless she can get the help she needs, unless it is a type of depression, she has a mental health issue and she's getting the help that she needs to help her through it, that's different. And it is different. If a mother has a mental health issue, or she has postnatal depression, or she has something that's actually mentally, a mental health problem, and she gets the right help, and then she can cope with being a parent, that is not the same thing as a mother who actually understands that she cannot be a parent to that child because it's detrimental. It's not the same thing at all. Now, I know mothers that, I know women out there that would hate to become mothers, because if they ever became a mother, they'd never cope. In fact, they wouldn't cope so much that they'd have to get rid of the child. A friend of mine from school once told me that if she ever got pregnant, she'd have an abortion because she doesn't want children. She would make a horrible mother. She never wants to be a mother. She would be the worst mother on the planet, and she hates children. And yet, if that actually happens, the society will judge her for it, for daring to explain that she as a woman is useless as a mother, could not cope with it, would be the worst person in the world to ever be a mother. Society would hate her for it. I think she's really brave for saying it and understanding that she couldn't do it. We need to stop this segregation of parents, stop dividing parents into segments, which is what we do. We do divide parents into segmentations. We go, mothers are supposed to be this, fathers are supposed to be this. Mothers can never walk away from their children because if they walk away from their children, they're the worst parent on the entire planet, and how dare they? If a mother has any issues whatsoever, if a mother gets overworked, overtired, overstimulated, if a mother can't cope with it, if a mother moans and whinges and complains, if a mother struggles, if a mother takes her kids out and doesn't keep her eyes on that child for more than 3 seconds, society judges like there is no tomorrow. Like there is no tomorrow. However, flip that over. If a father does all those things, he's praised as being the best father in the planet. Oh, he understands that being a parent is hard. Oh, He obviously is struggling, the mother needs to help him. Well, at least he's trying, right? Oh, he took his kid, oh look, the father's out with his child. Isn't he doing such a great job? You know, there is a division in parenthood in society, and it's far from equal. And it needs to change. And it really needs to start changing now before war breaks out, where everything is going to change. We need to stop seeing ourselves as in differences. We need to stop seeing the differences in us. We need to start understanding that everybody is human and we all have the same struggles. And as parents, we all have the same struggles, and we can be the best parents on the planet and still have struggles, because being a parent is hard, whether it's a neurotypical child or a neurodivergent child. Being a parent is exceptionally hard. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter whether you're male, female, non-binary or anybody else. It doesn't matter. You can be a parent and still struggle. You can be the best parent on the planet and still have struggles, because being a parent is the hardest thing you could ever do. Doesn't make you any less of a person, any less of a parent, just because you're having a hard time. And society needs to stop having a go at the mothers and stop idolising the fathers, because it's not helping. You know, it's setting an example for children that as they grow up, if you're a boy, if you're male, or if you're, you know, then you're allowed to do the bare minimum as a father. You're allowed to just moan, whinge and complain because society doesn't expect anything from you. You're allowed to just do as you please, because society doesn't care what you do. When it comes to your children, you just have to just acknowledge them, as far as society is concerned. Acknowledge your child, because, you know, they're your child and you're an amazing father. Well done, yay! However, it's teaching daughters that if they become mothers, they'll never be good enough. Not ever. No matter what they do, no matter where they go, no matter how hard they try, they will never be good enough. And they will never be strong enough, no matter what they do. That is what our society teaches our children about parenthood. And we do have to think about it, because schools teach about it from an early age in England, because the age of puberty has dropped. Here in England, you start learning sex education from the sort of year 5, which is sort of top end of sort of 9, 10. Sort of the age of 8 to the age of 8, 9, you start learning about sex education, because the age of puberty has lowered. There are more and more children, more and more girls hitting puberty at the age of 8, between 7 and 9 than ever before. And we don't know why. We don't really know what's causing it. We know that there's something causing it, but we're not 100% sure why. And people are, you know, scientists are looking into it all. But because it's happening, girls are hitting puberty at a really early age, they have to start talking about sex education between the ages of 8 and 9, so that they actually understand how to keep themselves safe. You know, and it's a really sad world we're living in. But it's the world that we live in, which means that we have to stop segregating parenthood and separating them into boxes. Women will never be good enough parents no matter what we do. So daughters, when you grow up, you're going to be the worst parent on the planet just because you're a mother, no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter how many children you have, even if your children are the most amazing children on the planet and you've raised them really well, you will still be the worst mother on the planet, because in society's eyes, you'll never be good enough. That's the worst message on the planet. It's just such a horrible message that we are teaching our children. You know, and it's also teaching the boys that they can do whatever the hell they like. They can have as many children with as many different women and only do the bare minimum, never live with any of them, never deal with anyone, and only sort of see them every once in a blue moon. And as long as they see their children once in a blue moon and acknowledge they have children, they're the best parent on the planet. It's not healthy. It's such a toxic way to look at parenthood. And we're teaching our children that. Society teaches our children that. Even if parents try not to, even if the family dynamic is a healthy one, and there are so many healthy dynamic families, whether you're a single parent family, whether you're a part of the LGBTQ family, you know, healthy families are healthy families. It doesn't matter whether you are one of each, two of the same, or single parents, you know, or divorced parents, you know, or even divorced parents. If it's a healthy relationship, it's healthy. Healthy parenthood doesn't mean you have to live together and be married. Healthy parenthood means that you have to teach your children how to be decent, loving, caring human beings, and how to become, you know, a thriving member of society, and eventually a parent of their own child, and how to raise them the right way. But no matter how hard a parent tries, if every time they walk out their door, or every time they go to school, or every time they move, society is in their ear telling them that they'll never be good enough, or they just have to do the bare minimum and they're brilliant, what kind of message does that send? No, you're a girl, you'll never be a good enough person, you'll never be worth anything because you're a mother. Mothers are worthless, you're useless, and you'll never be good enough for any. You just, yeah. Oh, you're a boy? Yeah, that's great. Acknowledge your child. You know, you're the best parent in the world, obviously, you know. That is not a message we as parents send to our children, or try not to send to our children, but it is the message society sends to our children. And it does need to change. And it does need to start changing now. The world is changing. We are on the brink of a war. And if we get through this war, we need to start treating each other as equals in every aspect of our lives, and that includes parenthood. It actually includes parenthood as well. It's an odd concept to think that both mothers and fathers are exactly the same, but they are. We are equals in everything, not just in the whole world, but as parents. You can't penalise one and idolise the other. It doesn't work, and it's not healthy. Society is so toxic towards parents, it's unreal. And it doesn't teach our children a very good message. We need to change that. And I'm going around in circles, so I'm going to go.